First thing is to understand the product and to sell the product because there is tremendous technology in it. What we're selling here is a sophisticated machine tool, not just four wheels that move along the road. So one, understand the product and sell the benefits of this product. And secondly, there is a big audience out there with a lot of goodwill towards Ford that are waiting for this car. Right now, we have 172,000 drivers have written to us, drivers of non-Ford products, who said, we want to know more about this car because we are interested in buying it. What is important is that we follow up on these prospects and introduce the car to them because they are interested. And on top of those, we have to follow up our own owner body. And if we can do that, then I'm sure this car will be an outstanding success for us and also for the dealer organisation.
The voice of Ford of Britain Chairman and Managing Director Ian McAllister talking to me recently about Ford's all-new Mondeo. In this tape, we'll be introducing you to the most exciting and technologically accomplished new Ford cars ever, giving you the inside story of their design and engineering, and taking you through some of their many features and benefits. But first, an overview. Mondeo is Ford's first world car. Just what does that mean, and what's the advantage? Well, here's what the worldwide program director for Mondeo, David Price, told me recently.
This is a car that is engineered in one location to be manufactured in more than one location around the world, in this case Europe, North America and potentially Mexico, and capable of being sold in all world markets. Very importantly, it is not a national product that is being adapted for other locations. It is starting from the ground up as an international product, satisfying the most rigorous product demands of the markets into which it will be sold.
So you see its world car status then as a distinct benefit to the customer, not a compromise?
Absolutely. I think he gets the best of all worlds. He gets a car that was purpose-built to be front-wheel drive, to have multi-valve engines, to have the capability to provide all-wheel drive should the customer require it. We can offer some fairly elaborate features such as traction control, not traditionally available in this class. We can offer good security, a very important element of the British market these days. Overall, I believe there are substantial customer benefits both in Europe and North America of taking this route.
So, by using the very best engineering and ideas from around the Ford world, Mondeo is simply the best of the best. So as we run through the features, we'll also look at the story under the skin. For a start, the very seat you're sitting on right now is more than merely designed for comfort and a wide range of seat movement. What you can't see is the special anti-submarining design built into the seat squabs. This helps to prevent you sliding forward under the seatbelt in the event of a crash, and it's part of Mondeo's remarkable dynamic safety engineering story, part of its integrated passive safety system. As you sit behind the wheel, you're in a body designed to meet or beat all current crash test requirements, with front and rear crumple zones, massive side impact protection, including door beams, special transverse strengthening across the A-pillars, and even a specially designed impact-resistant fuel tank. To your right is, naturally, a height-adjustable seat belt. This is fitted with a seatbelt grabber, hidden in the B-pillar, and a pretensioner in the buckle holder. In the event of a crash, these work together to limit possible wind-out on the belt spool. Now, if you look at the steering wheel, you will see the letters SRS in the boss. These stand for Supplementary Restraint System, the steering wheel airbag, standard on all Mondeos. In a crash, this will deploy and prevent your head from hitting the wheel. The whole operation, from impact to airbag deployment to your head making contact, takes just 50 thousandths of a second. That's about as long as the blink of an eye. And Ford has even set off airbags on purpose in tests and discovered that it's still possible to drive the car safely. Pretty reassuring, eh? This attention to safety is now more relevant to what buyers say they need than ever. Don't forget that safety as a reason for buying is now known to be more important than performance even in Germany, and the Germans are traditionally the most performance-minded European buyers. So that's the basic passive safety story, though, as we'll see, there's lots more about Mondeo which makes it a safer car to drive. So let's imagine we've sat in and belted up. The fore and aft seat control is at the front, and even on lead-in models, there's driver's seat cushion tilt adjustment. On GLX and above, there's power driver's seat height adjust. And optional on Gears, 10-way full power adjustment, leather trim and heated seats too. Of course, fully reclining front seats are standard on all Mondeos. So too is rake and reach adjustment to the steering column. The handle is on the left-hand side of the column. As you'll discover when you get going, power steering is a standard Mondeo feature, and very precise it is too. And if you're sitting in a Mondeo gear, you'll see the wheels trimmed in leather, and the car may be fitted with cruise control. Now, cruise control is not common in cars in this class, and Mondeo's is highly sophisticated, with a tap-up, tap-down feature, raising or lowering the set speed by around 1 mile per hour each time you press the top right-hand button for very precise setting, a very good method of not speeding by accident. Talking about tap-down, on all Mondeos fitted with front power windows, that's to say LX and above, there's a one-shot down function on the driver's side. Just press it once for a beat and the window will come all the way down on its own. And before you ask, no, it won't go up the same way, for safety reasons. On Gears, all 4 windows are power operated, and on GLX and above, the door mirrors are powered and heated too. Look down from the mirrors to the door sides, and in front of the door handles is where you'll find the front stereo speakers. Ford Electronics were intimately involved in the interior design of the car, and their input has ensured that speaker positioning is at its very best for top-quality sound reproduction. At the very top of the range, there's a boot-mounted CD auto changer available, and a special gold audio system with upgraded speakers and a 50-litre subwoofer mounted in the boot. Mondeo sound is frankly amazing, and the car is so quiet on the road you'll enjoy it to the full. The interior is not only quiet, but very clean too. All Mondeos have a standard Micron air filter, which takes out pollen and road dusts. Optional on GLX and standard on Gears, there's a new CFC-free air conditioning system for an even better interior environment. The switch is on the left-hand side of the wheel. Also nearby, you'll find the Quick Clear heated screen switch. Quick Clear plus heated washer jets is optional on LX and above and standard on Gear. And if fitted, just below that, there's a switch you won't want to switch off. On Mondeo SIs and Gears, another big new technology story is the arrival of optional traction control. Now, traction control is a remarkable system which, to put it in a nutshell, eliminates unwanted wheel spin. Just imagine the advantages that brings on gravel tracks or in the wet or on snow and ice. Put simply, it works by using the sensoring system of the anti-lock brakes, which are of course standard on Gears and SIs. As the sensors detect any trace of wheel spin, a computer-controlled throttle and at less than 20 miles an hour, throttle and brake adjustment eliminates the problem even before the driver was aware of it. In fact, traction control is regarded as such an important option that the telltale light on the instrument panel only comes on if you switch the system off, because Ford believe that anyone who has specified it will use it all the time. It is a superb example of using a computer to do what computers can do best. That's to say, react faster than a human driver, taking us nearer to the Ford concept of the intelligent car. Brilliant with front-wheel drive Mondeos, the traction control option is even available with four-wheel drive SIs and with Gear estates. In front-wheel drive SIs and Gears, traction control also comes with another major high-tech innovation. Again, it's something you won't want to switch off. In fact, you can't switch it off, though it can be controlled. Its switch looks like a rounded-off triangle, and you'll find it just to the rear of the handbrake. The system is adaptive damping. And frankly, it's another miracle of computer control. Adaptive damping has two settings, Auto and Sport. In Auto, you get a soft limousine ride when cruising. As soon as you accelerate, or brake, or turn a bend, the damping automatically stiffens up, giving you taut, precise handling. Now, this happens in about 20 milliseconds, so fast you can't notice it. In short, you get the ride of a luxury car when you want it, and sports car handling when you need it. If you do press the switch, you'll be selecting sports mode permanently, giving a sports car feel all the time. In fact, it's only when you do set it into permanent sport mode that you can notice adaptive damping. Otherwise, it operates so quickly that you just don't notice the changeover from soft to firm. It just happens much faster almost than you can imagine. And the combination of adaptive damping with traction control gives a whole new meaning to ride, handling, directional stability, and hence, in turn, to safety. Now to transmissions. Mondeo offers two. The new 5-speed MTX75 manual gearbox you'll find slick and easy to change. And do try reverse. There is a reason. This gearbox is one of the few with full synchromesh on reverse gear. The other transmission is the new CD4E automatic with switchable overdrive for relaxed cruising. This gearbox also has selectable sport and economy settings. If you're looking at one now, the switch is on the centre console to the side of the lever. In sport mode, the gears are held for longer and the gearbox shifts down on smaller throttle openings. In economy mode, the reverse happens. Mondeo, of course, is either four-wheel or front-wheel drive, the first time for Ford in a car of this class. So it benefits from the increase in interior space, the wet weather handling, and the efficiency improvements of the front-wheel drive system. And Mondeo comes with a choice from 4 engines. There's a 1.8 or a 2-litre petrol, a powerful turbo diesel, and a new arrival, the recently introduced multi-valve 1.6 petrol engine. As you know, a quantum leap from the previous 1.6 engine. Simply outstanding. In fact, Mondeo's all-round drivability has proved outstanding during research, earning the highest praise. And that must be music to the ears of Ford's consultant in engineering for research and development of future products, a man who knows a thing or two about engine and powertrain technology. After all, he should do. He was World Formula One champion 3 times. Here's how Jackie Stewart summed up Mondeo's technology recently.
The car was created as a front-wheel drive car, and it was also designed for a multi-valve engine. The Mondeo will have 16-valve engines. And why 16 valves? They're more efficient, they're quieter, they're smoother, and the emission controls are better. The car probably has the most sophisticated electronic management control system of any car in the world. Transmissions? Well, you've already heard. It's got the new 5-speed transmission exclusively designed for this car, and the new automatic transmission. It's got an economy drive and it's got a performance drive as well in that automatic. And you can have adaptive damping. That means you can be going along on the motorway with a nice gentle and soft ride. The moment the car goes into a manoeuvre or into tight corners, the adaptive damping thinks for the car and goes into a firm suspension mode. Now, of course, the performance driver can flick a switch and keep it in that performance mode all the time if they want to. And talking about driving, can you imagine how good adaptive damping would be with traction control? We've got it. A wonderful car to drive.
And that, I promise you, you'll find out for yourselves. And you know, it's not just the big things. Ford have really thought about this car. For instance, both the filler cap and tailgate or boot lid can be remotely released from inside on every Mondeo. The fuel filler top itself is threaded, by the way. The release lever is down on the floor near the driver's seat. And look at the centre console. Those 2 little clips there hold a pen. Now, why hasn't someone thought of that before? And you'll find lots of examples of that kind of attention to detail. And something as good as that is liable to be pretty attractive to the thief, too. Ford have done a lot here to make Mondeo a very disappointing car, That's if you want to steal one. For a start, there are 2 alarm systems. There's the usual perimeter system, which goes off if the doors or tailgate or boot or bonnet are tampered with after you've primed it. The other is a sophisticated volume sensing alarm. You can actually see the sensors. They're on the B-pillars just above the top of the seat belt. These sense movement inside the vehicle and would go off if someone broke a window to get in. If either alarm goes off, an immobilizer instantly isolates the ignition and the starter motor. Radio cassettes and CD players now have uprated key coding, and inside the doors themselves, the locks are heavily shielded to prevent lock picking. Once you get outside and lock up, you'll find that all Mondeos have both central and double locking, and optional remote control locking is available on gears. The sensor is built into the door handle, so you know exactly where to point the beam. Finally, don't overlook the extra VIN plate, which you can see through the windscreen at all times from outside the car. Very handy for the police. All in all, there's so much to say about Ford's exciting new Mondeos, and believe it or not, we've only just scratched the surface. We haven't even mentioned that at the end of its very long life, Mondeo is no less than 84% recyclable, a great achievement, the most environmentally friendly car Ford has ever produced. But let's leave the last word with Jackie Stewart.
I've been involved with Mondeo from its very beginning, but I have never been more pleased with the final product. This is the best car that I've worked on. It's probably the most important car that Ford has ever produced anywhere in the world. I've worked with some great engineers. I'm a very small gear in a big transmission, but I'm very proud of my contribution. I know you're going to enjoy this car.